Have you ever noticed how the mysterious bad boy always seems to capture the attention and affection of women, while the nice guy often lags behind, wondering where he went wrong? Today, we're exploring this intriguing phenomenon through the lens of Stoicism, revealing how embracing a more stoic demeanor aligns perfectly with the allure of the bad boy persona. It's not the flashy cars or designer clothes that make bad boys so irresistible. It's their enigmatic allure and the subtle charm they exude without even trying. In this video, we will dissect the misunderstood characteristics that make the bad boy image so compelling. Stoicism teaches us about the virtue of self-control and the power of responding rather than reacting, traits that bad boys seem to exhibit naturally. This persona doesn't chase approval, but remains confidently detached, a quality that often draws others in. We'll explore how you can apply these Stoic principles to cultivate your inner bad boy, transforming into a high-value man who commands respect and attraction effortlessly. You'll discover how embodying certain traits of the bad boy can transform you into the high-value man you aspire to be. We're not just talking about turning the tables, we're talking about rewriting the rulebook. We will delve into the 9 rules that bad boys tend to ignore, and how, from a Stoic perspective, breaking away from these societal expectations can lead to greater personal freedom and magnetic appeal. By understanding and implementing these strategies, you'll not only avoid the dreaded friend zone, but also live a more fulfilling and authentic life. So if you're ready to challenge the norms and embrace a bolder, more stoic approach to dating and life, stay tuned. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get more insights into how Stoicism can revolutionize your approach to personal relationships and self-development. Let's embark on this transformative journey together. Your path to becoming a high-value man starts now. Number 1. Seeking approval. In our modern world, there's a significant emphasis on always asking for a woman's approval before making any move, whether it's leaning in for a kiss, touching her hand, or even making a bold statement. This advice is often presented as a way to avoid misunderstandings and ensure mutual respect. And while this might seem like sound advice, particularly for those who are shy, anxious, or overly cautious, it doesn't always align with the mindset of those who are seen as bad boys. From a Stoic perspective, over-relying on external validation can lead to indecision and inaction. Stoicism teaches us to act with purpose, clarity, and integrity, focusing more on our intentions and less on the uncontrollable opinions of others. The so-called bad boys are often depicted as those who disregard these societal expectations and instead march to the beat of their own drum. They aren't reckless. They're simply more in tune with their own desires and less concerned with societal approval. Let's delve into how this connects with Stoic principles. Stoicism encourages us to be self-reliant and to act according to our internal compass, rather than constantly seeking the approval of others. This doesn't mean that Stoics are indifferent to others' feelings or societal rules. Rather, it means that they don't let fear of judgment dictate their actions. Imagine a man who is interested in a woman he meets at a social event. A man who is overly concerned with seeking approval might hesitate, waiting for a clear, undeniable signal before making his move. However, someone embodying a bad boy persona, and by extension some Stoic qualities, reads the situation, trusts his instincts, and moves forward with confidence. He doesn't need explicit permission for every small gesture because he understands and respects social cues. This ability to act decisively without second-guessing every action aligns with the Stoic principle of focusing on what is within our control our actions and decisions, and letting go of what is not others' reactions and opinions. However, it's crucial to differentiate this confidence from inappropriate behavior. A true Stoic, much like a genuinely confident man, understands the importance of respect and boundaries. Stoicism teaches us that while we should be bold and assertive in pursuing what we want, we must also be virtuous and ethical in our actions. This means that a Stoic bad boy doesn't overstep. He doesn't ignore a woman's boundaries or act without her consent. Instead, he is attuned to her responses, knowing when to proceed and when to gracefully step back. This kind of behavior isn't about aggression or coercion, but about a balanced approach to confidence. He is willing to take the lead and make decisions, but also respects the autonomy and comfort of the woman he's interested in. Women often find this self-assured attitude appealing because it demonstrates a man who is sure of himself and his desires without being dependent on the approval of others. He doesn't linger in uncertainty or wait for validation to make a move. Instead, he embodies the Stoic ideal of taking responsibility for his actions and living by his own set of values. He isn't swayed by external pressures or the fear of rejection because his confidence comes from an inner strength that Stoicism champions. To adopt this bad boy mindset in a Stoic way, focus on cultivating your self-confidence and decisiveness. Practice reading situations intuitively and acting with both boldness and respect. Remember, true strength and attractiveness don't come from seeking approval, but from being confident in who you are and what you stand for. Number 2, concealing your unique qualities. Many men fall into the trap of hiding their true selves from women, mistakenly believing that their quirks or unique traits might ruin their chances of making a good impression. They often feel the need to put on a mask, presenting a version of themselves that they think will be more widely accepted. This fear of rejection is understandable, but it ultimately leads to a loss of individuality and authenticity. In reality, adopting a Stoic mindset can help you embrace a bad boy persona in a way that is genuine and grounded. Stoicism teaches us the importance of self-awareness and accepting ourselves as we are. It's about recognizing your inherent value and not pretending to be someone else just to gain approval or avoid rejection. A bad boy isn't just someone who rebels against societal norms or breaks rules for the sake of it. Instead, he is someone who lives unapologetically, guided by his own principles, and isn't easily swayed by others' opinions or expectations. This kind of independence aligns perfectly with Stoic teachings, which encourage individuals to focus on what they can control, their thoughts, actions, and responses, rather than worrying about what others might think or say about them. For instance, if you have a passion for drawing, acting, or reading manga, you should embrace these interests fully and without hesitation. Don't hide these hobbies because you fear they might seem unconventional or might not align with what is traditionally considered cool. Remember, what truly matters is that these activities bring you joy and fulfillment. Take inspiration from Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, who said, "Be content with what you are, and wish not change, nor dread your last day, nor long for it." This profound statement encourages acceptance of oneself, without shame or fear of judgment from others. It's a reminder to celebrate your unique qualities, rather than trying to conform to an artificial standard set by society. Women and people in general are far more likely to respect and admire you when you're authentic, confident, and secure in who you are. Trying to mold yourself into what you think others want only makes you appear inauthentic and forgettable. Authenticity is magnetic, because it is rare and real in a world full of pretense. However, embracing who you are doesn't mean using authenticity as a shield to indulge in laziness or unproductive habits. Being a bad boy, in the Stoic sense, is about being disciplined and true to yourself, while also striving to grow and improve continually. It's about finding a balance between being comfortable with who you are and challenging yourself to become the best version of yourself. This means being mindful of your actions and not allowing your unique traits to become excuses for poor behavior or lack of ambition. So, take pride in your quirks, pursue your passions with vigor, and don't be afraid to stand out. By living a life that is true to yourself, you not only attract genuine respect and admiration, but also set an example for others to follow. After all, there's nothing more compelling than a person who knows who they are and isn't afraid to show it. Number 3. No tolerance. Nice guys often find themselves ignoring red flags and poor behavior from women, driven by a desire to please or out of sheer desperation to keep someone around. This mindset comes from a place of fear of being alone, or fear of not being enough. But let's pause and think about this from a Stoic perspective. Marcus Aurelius, a well-known Stoic philosopher, taught that we should never compromise our values for fleeting pleasures or superficial gains. In his Meditations, he reminds us that integrity and self-respect should never be sacrificed for the approval or attention of others. A bad boy persona, when viewed through a Stoic lens, is not about being rude or dismissive, but about having a strict zero-tolerance policy for disrespect and inconsistency. It's about valuing yourself and maintaining high standards for how you allow others to treat you, regardless of external pressures or expectations. For example, you're dating someone who constantly cancels plans at the last minute or disrespects your time with passive-aggressive comments. These behaviors might seem small at first, but over time, they reveal a lack of respect for your boundaries and your time. A Stoic would say that every person, regardless of how attractive they are, should be treated as an equal, with mutual respect and understanding. Tolerating behavior that goes against your principles doesn't just hurt you, it erodes your self-respect and dignity. You might think that by being overly accommodating, you're winning her favor, or being the nice guy she wants. But the truth is, you're losing sight of your own value and setting yourself up for deeper emotional pain. In Stoicism, self-control and wisdom guide us to recognize when a relationship is more about convenience for the other person than genuine affection and respect for who you truly are. Adopting a bad boy stance here is about asserting your boundaries firmly and unapologetically. It's about saying, I respect myself enough not to settle for less than I deserve. And that sentiment is not negotiable. This doesn't mean you're harsh or unforgiving. It's about protecting your peace of mind and ensuring you are surrounded by people who uplift and respect you. This approach helps you stay true to your principles, not bending or breaking them for someone who doesn't see your worth. In doing so, you create space for healthier, more fulfilling relationships that are based on mutual respect, not on one-sided concessions. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what is within our control, our actions, our responses, and our self-respect. If someone's behavior challenges these principles, it's not just okay to walk away, it's necessary. In Stoicism, this approach aligns with the idea of being indifferent to what does not contribute to your virtue or tranquility. Epictetus, another Stoic philosopher, would advise us to keep our intentions pure and not to let external circumstances dictate our inner state. If a woman's behavior contradicts your principles and brings chaos or stress into your life, It's better to acknowledge it early on, rather than letting it fester into resentment and frustration. A relationship should never be a source of inner turmoil, but rather a partnership that enhances your life and aligns with your values. Remember, in the long run, it's not about winning someone over temporarily, but building a foundation of mutual respect and genuine connection. If she doesn't meet those standards, be courageous enough to let her go and move forward. Your inner peace and self-worth are far too valuable to compromise, and maintaining this stance will ensure you attract the right kind of people who genuinely appreciate who you are. Number 4. Don't elevate her above yourself. In today's world, many men have been influenced by popular culture, whether it's fairy tales, movies, or social media, to believe that they should put women on a pedestal and treat them like queens. While being respectful is important, it's crucial to remember that women, like men, are human beings with their own flaws and strengths. By excessively adoring her, you might think you're doing something special, but in reality, you're just blending in with all the other guys who shower her with attention. Women often receive plenty of compliments and admiration from others, so what really sets you apart is treating her as an equal. From a Stoic perspective, it's essential to focus on your own value and not let external validation define you. The Stoics teach us that we should be indifferent to the opinions of others and instead cultivate our inner virtues. This means recognizing your own worth and not feeling the need to elevate anyone above yourself to feel complete. When you place your self-worth on a solid foundation, grounded in your principles and values, you naturally become more attractive to others. Imagine this. You're at a party, and you see a woman who is used to men falling all over her. Instead of being one of those guys who can't stop complimenting her or trying to win her favor, you approach her with calm confidence. You engage in a meaningful conversation, showing genuine interest in her thoughts and opinions, but without idolizing her. You make it clear, through your actions and words, that while you respect her, you also respect yourself. This approach aligns perfectly with the bad boy persona often admired by many. It's not about being rude or dismissive, it's about having a strong sense of self that doesn't waver. A bad boy, in this context, is someone who knows his worth, doesn't seek approval, and stands firm in his beliefs. He treats women as equals, not as something to be idolized or chased after. By embodying this mindset, you're not only setting yourself apart from the crowd, but also demonstrating the kind of self-respect and inner strength that women find genuinely attractive. So, remember, the key is not to place her above yourself. Instead, see her as an equal, value your own worth, and let your actions reflect a balanced, stoic approach to relationships. This isn't about being self-centered, it's about maintaining a healthy sense of self-worth, which in turn makes you more appealing and memorable to others. If you've journeyed with me this far and are still engaged, I invite you to take a brief pause and comment below with "Stand firm in my beliefs." This simple act signifies that you genuinely resonate with the message we've been exploring. Your participation means a lot, and it's a testament to your commitment to personal growth. Now, let's continue. Number 5. Playing it safe. Most men tend to play it safe, sticking to what they know and avoiding risks at all costs. This tendency is often ingrained from a young age, taught to be cautious and avoid stepping into the unknown. Unfortunately, this approach can lead many to settle for mediocrity, staying in jobs they dislike for years, or staying in situations that don't fulfill them, all because they're too afraid to take a leap. This fear of risk not only squanders their potential, but also diminishes their appeal. Let's face it, There's nothing attractive about a man who is too scared to step out of his comfort zone and challenge himself. Now, let's take a Stoic perspective on this. The Stoics believed in facing life's challenges head-on, understanding that while we can't control everything, we can control how we respond to what happens. A bad boy persona aligns perfectly with this Stoic mindset. Bad boys are often seen as risk-takers, not because they are reckless, but because they have the courage to act, even in uncertainty. They roll the dice with confidence, believing that no matter the outcome, they can handle it. This is a powerful Stoic principle. They aren't afraid of failure because they know that every experience, whether good or bad, is an opportunity for growth. Think about Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic philosopher who constantly reminded himself to act with courage and to not fear what the future holds. A modern bad boy would do the same. He would seize opportunities, make bold decisions, and step outside his comfort zone without a second thought. To him, it's not about being reckless, but about being fearless in the face of potential failure. He's willing to risk it all, knowing that true growth happens outside the boundaries of safety. For example, imagine a man who has always dreamed of starting his own business, but stays in his 9-to-5 job because it's secure and familiar. This man is playing it safe, letting fear dictate his actions. A Stoic bad boy, on the other hand, would recognize the importance of taking that leap of faith. He understands that comfort and security can often be the enemy of progress. He would leave that unfulfilling job, confident in his ability to adapt and thrive, regardless of the challenges ahead. So, if you want to adopt this bad boy persona, don't be afraid to take risks. Channel your inner Stoic by embracing uncertainty and seeing every risk as an opportunity to grow and learn. Remember, it's not about recklessness. It's about having the courage to step out of your comfort zone and live boldly. Women are naturally drawn to men who have this fearless energy, who act with purpose and confidence. So, stop playing it safe. Take that leap and show the world and yourself what you're truly capable of. Number 6, breaking free from the mundane. Breaking free from the mundane is about more than just living on the edge. It's about embracing the unpredictability of life with the confidence of a bad boy and the wisdom of a Stoic. In Stoicism, we learn the importance of facing the unknown with courage and composure, much like the bad boy who is unafraid to challenge the status quo. This adventurous spirit goes beyond mere rebellion. It's about seeking a deeper understanding of oneself and the world, pushing boundaries not for the thrill alone, but for growth and personal development. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "It is not things that disturb us, but our interpretation of their significance." In this way, a bad boy chooses to interpret life's uncertainties as opportunities rather than obstacles, embodying a spirit that is both daring and thoughtful. Consider this. A bad boy doesn't just provide an escape from the mundane. He embodies a life that is vibrant and full of purpose, much like a Stoic who navigates life's challenges with resilience and determination. When we think about the bad boy persona through the lens of Stoicism, it's about taking calculated risks, exploring new territories, and living with a sense of purpose that transcends routine existence. This isn't about reckless behavior or seeking out danger for its own sake. It's about understanding that comfort zones are prisons for the soul. A Stoic bad boy knows that true growth comes from stepping into the unknown, embracing discomfort as a teacher, and allowing life's unpredictability to forge a stronger, wiser self. Consider a situation where everyone follows the same path, day in and day out. The bad boy, guided by Stoic principles, chooses to carve his own path, not out of defiance, but from a desire to experience life fully. He understands that life is too short to be confined by societal norms or expectations. Instead of living in fear of the unknown, he embraces it, knowing that every new experience is an opportunity to learn and grow. By doing so, he transforms what others might see as risks into calculated adventures that enrich his life with stories, wisdom, and a deeper sense of meaning. This approach doesn't just make life more exciting, it also makes it profoundly more fulfilling, as each step off the beaten path becomes a step closer to personal enlightenment. In this way, following a bad boy persona with Stoic wisdom means embracing life's adventures with a sense of calm and clarity. It's about finding excitement not in reckless behavior, but in the conscious decision to live life authentically, to push the boundaries of what's possible, and to discover new facets of oneself. This approach not only makes life more exciting, but also more meaningful, transforming the mundane into a captivating journey of self-discovery and growth. By adopting this mindset, one does not just rebel against the ordinary, but intentionally crafts a life that is rich in experiences, grounded in wisdom, and driven by a relentless pursuit of personal and philosophical growth. Number 7. Playing hard to get. In the world of dating and attraction, it's no secret that women often find themselves at the center of attention, with many men eager to win their favor. This constant pursuit can make it easy for some men to think that showering a woman with attention will set them apart. However, there's a certain allure in being the opposite, in being the man who doesn't chase, who doesn't easily give away his attention and affection. A bad boy doesn't follow the crowd. He doesn't go out of his way to impress or seek validation from others. Instead, he embodies a sense of mystery and confidence that naturally draws people in. By playing hard to get, he creates an air of intrigue around him. This doesn't mean being cold or rude. Rather, it's about maintaining a calm detachment and not rushing to make his feelings or intentions known. From a Stoic perspective, this approach reflects the idea of being in control of one's emotions and actions, not letting external circumstances dictate one's behavior. Imagine this scenario. You meet a woman at a social event, and instead of instantly trying to win her over with compliments and attention like everyone else, you take a different route. You engage her in conversation, but you don't overdo it. You show interest, but not desperation. You make her curious about you, leaving her wanting to know more. This subtle detachment can be incredibly attractive because it's different, it's unexpected. The Stoics teach us the importance of self-control and knowing when to engage and when to withdraw. This is the essence of playing hard to get. It's about not being overly eager or making someone else the center of your world before they've earned that place. It's about holding back just enough to keep the other person intrigued and wondering. This doesn't mean you play games or manipulate others, but rather, you maintain a sense of self-respect and independence. A bad boy is often seen as elusive because he understands the value of his time and attention. He doesn't give them away freely because he knows they are precious. This is a powerful way to demonstrate your worth without saying a word. By not being readily available, you communicate that you have your own life, your own priorities, and that you are not just waiting around for someone else to validate you. Take, for example, the classic scenario of messaging. If she texts you, don't feel the need to respond immediately. Take your time, continue doing what you're doing, and respond when it's convenient for you. This isn't about playing games. It's about not dropping everything for someone else. It's about showing that you have your own life and that you're not solely focused on hers. This approach can make a woman more intrigued by you because you're not like every other guy who is quick to drop everything for her. You're maintaining your own space and demonstrating self-control, a key Stoic virtue. This doesn't mean being aloof or distant to the point of disinterest, but rather striking the right balance between showing interest and maintaining your independence. In essence, playing hard to get is about being mindful of your actions and not allowing yourself to be swept away by the desire for immediate validation or affection. It's about embodying that calm, collected nature that the Stoics valued so highly, showing that you are in control of yourself and your emotions. By adopting this mindset, you not only stand out as someone who is different and intriguing, but also someone who understands the deeper value of self-respect and self-control. Number 8. Intensity. Bad boys have a reputation for living life with a fiery passion and an intensity that can be both magnetic and mesmerizing. They don't just go through the motions of life. They dive in head first, driven by deep motivations and a relentless pursuit of what they desire. This intensity isn't merely about being aggressive or rebellious. It's about being fully present and committed to the path they choose. In Stoic philosophy, this aligns closely with the idea of living life with purpose and conviction. Stoicism teaches us to act with intention, to understand what truly matters, and to focus our energy on that without being swayed by external opinions or fleeting distractions. Think about a bad boy who sets his sights on a goal, whether it's mastering a new skill, advancing in his career, or building a meaningful relationship. He approaches it with a level of enthusiasm and focus that leaves no room for doubt or hesitation. This isn't about recklessness or ignoring consequences. Instead, it's about harnessing his passion and directing it with precision. He channels his energy into what he believes is worth his time and effort, displaying a kind of single-minded dedication that is truly captivating. This intensity, much like the Stoics' commitment to virtue, shows a willingness to live authentically and with full engagement, regardless of the challenges or obstacles that might arise. Consider the example of Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers. Despite being an emperor with immense power and responsibility, he didn't shy away from the challenges of life. Instead, he faced them head-on with a calm yet intense resolve. He wrote extensively about the importance of focusing on what we can control and not being consumed by external events or the opinions of others. Similarly, a bad boy lives with a fearless intensity that isn't about being careless, but about embracing life fully, accepting risks, and pursuing what truly matters to him with a clear, unwavering focus. Take, for example, a situation where a bad boy decides to pursue a personal project, like learning a new instrument or starting a side business. He doesn't just dabble in it or give up when things get tough. Instead, he immerses himself in the process, dedicating time every day to practice or learn, and pushing through difficulties with a sense of determination. His friends might see him stay up late working on his craft, or hear him talk passionately about his progress and setbacks. This kind of intensity is infectious. It inspires others to take their own goals seriously and to approach them with the same level of commitment. So, if you want to channel this bad boy intensity in your own life, start by finding what truly ignites your passion. Reflect on your values and what you genuinely care about. Once you have clarity on what matters, dive deep into your pursuits, not with reckless abandon, but with a stoic focus on what you can control and a steadfast commitment to your goals. Don't let fear of judgment or failure hold you back. Instead, Live with the kind of intensity that comes from knowing your purpose. Much like the Stoic philosophers taught, act with reason, live with virtue, and pursue what you believe in with unwavering dedication. This is the essence of combining Stoic wisdom with the captivating intensity of the bad boy persona, living authentically, passionately, and with a focus that inspires others to do the same. Number 9. Self-sufficient. In Stoicism, self-sufficiency is more than just taking care of your own needs. It's about building an inner resilience that comes from understanding and accepting that you are the master of your own fate. A bad boy persona often exemplifies this trait, demonstrating a kind of independence that doesn't rely on others for validation or support. He doesn't wait around for someone to solve his problems or manage his life. Instead, he takes initiative, handles his responsibilities, and makes decisions confidently, all of which reflect the Stoic ideal of self-reliance. Consider the example of a man who, when faced with a difficult situation, doesn't immediately turn to his partner for solutions or reassurance. Instead, he calmly assesses the situation, weighs his options, and takes action based on his own judgment and principles. He knows that his happiness and success are within his control, not something dependent on others. This type of behavior is not about shutting people out or being emotionally distant. Rather, it's about not burdening others with things that he can handle on his own. For women who are often accustomed to taking on the role of caretaker or manager in their relationships, this kind of self-sufficiency can be incredibly refreshing. It's a relief to be with someone who doesn't need to be constantly supervised, who doesn't require endless guidance, and who isn't looking for someone else to complete them. Instead, these men show that they are complete on their own. And this completeness is a key component of what makes them attractive. From a Stoic perspective, this aligns perfectly with the philosophy's emphasis on focusing on what you can control and letting go of what you cannot. Stoics believe in taking ownership of their actions, emotions, and decisions. When you embody this self-sufficient mindset, you're not easily swayed by the ups and downs of life or the opinions of others. You stand firm, knowing that your value comes from within, not from external validation. Adopting this approach doesn't mean you never ask for help or collaborate with others. It's about having a strong foundation so that when you do engage with others, it comes from a place of strength rather than neediness. This kind of independence also means you're less likely to be overwhelmed by life's challenges because you've cultivated the ability to face them head-on without undue reliance on anyone else. Women find this trait attractive because it signals that you're secure in who you are and that you won't become overly dependent or clingy in a relationship. It shows that you respect both your own space and theirs, understanding that a healthy relationship is built on mutual support and freedom, not on one partner constantly shouldering the other's burdens. So, by practicing self-sufficiency through the lens of Stoicism, you're not just adopting a bad boy persona in the superficial sense. You're embodying a deeper, more meaningful philosophy that prioritizes self-reliance, personal responsibility, and inner strength. This approach makes you not only more appealing as a partner, but also more fulfilled as an individual. You become someone who isn't just independent, but who also understands the value of being grounded, thoughtful, and resilient in all aspects of life. In today's exploration, we delved into the intriguing allure of the bad boy persona, uncovering how Stoic principles can elevate this archetype beyond mere rebellion to a more profound embodiment of confidence and self-assuredness. We learned that it isn't the superficial trappings that make someone desirable, but rather a composed and purposeful demeanor, marked by self-control and an authentic existence that resonates deeply with Stoicism. As we wrap up this transformative journey, it's clear that the true essence of appeal in the bad boy persona is not about defiance for its own sake, but about living with intention, embracing personal freedom, and navigating life with an unshakable inner confidence. By adopting these Stoic strategies, you're not just playing a part, you're evolving into a more grounded, respected, and magnetic individual. This is not about changing who you are, but refining yourself to embody the best qualities of both the Stoic and the enigmatic bad boy. Thank you for joining us in this philosophical dive into the world of attraction and self-improvement. If you found this video enlightening and inspiring, please give it a like and share it with someone who might benefit from these insights. Don't forget to comment below with your thoughts or experiences related to today's topic. And if you're eager to continue this journey of personal growth and Stoic exploration, make sure to watch the recommended videos appearing on the screen right now. Your path to becoming a high-value man continues with each step you take, guided by wisdom and courage. Subscribe and hit the bell icon so you won't miss out on our next insightful video. Embark on this transformative path with us, and let's cultivate a life of virtue and attraction together.